Hello, my dear students. This video is on Doris Lessing. The novel Grass is Singing by Doris Lessing is prescribed for the first year BA English Literature students of Manonmaniam Sundarnar University. I'll begin by introducing the author and then focus on her literary career. So, who is Doris Lessing? Doris Lessing is a British Zimbabwean novelist, a major writer of the second half of the 20th century. She was born in 1919 in Tehran, Iran. Her father, Alfred Taylor, was a British Army captain who had lost his leg during the First World War. He met his future wife, Emma McVeigh, a nurse at the Royal Free Hospital in London, while recuperating from the amputation of his leg. They got married and they moved to Tehran, Iran, and Doris was born in October 1919. And meanwhile, Alfred Taylor found employment as a clerk in the Imperial Bank of Persia. Doris and her family moved back to Britain when Doris was 5 years old. After some time in England, Alfred Taylor bought about 1,000 acres of bushland or wild uncultivated land in the British colony of Southern Rhodesia or modern Zimbabwe in the southern part of the African continent, and they moved to Zimbabwe. Life was difficult and farming was unprofitable. Emma Taylor had dreams of a very elegant and luxurious lifestyle, but she was completely disillusioned and dissatisfied with life in a mud hut in Zimbabwe. They had a very impoverished and difficult lifestyle in Zimbabwe, and this created a lot of bitterness in Emma Taylor. There was a lack of intimacy between Doris and her mother because Emma's dreams had collapsed and she was a very bitter and unhappy mother to Doris. But Doris Lessing recollects her life in Africa. She has written, "I was brought up in the African bush on the veldt. It was an Africa that has vanished. Nothing I remember as a child is still there. The birds and the animals, everything has diminished or gone." Despite having a difficult relationship with her mother, Doris was taught by her mother at home, and this actually encouraged her to take up reading all kinds of books. Later on, she was sent to a boarding school and a Roman Catholic convent. By the age of 14, Doris decided to rebel against her mother. She dropped out of school when she was 14 years old, and from then on, she was self-educated. By year 1937, she started working in Salisbury, or modern-day Harare, the capital of Zimbabwe. She kept on reading. She read books on sociology and politics. In 1937, she met and married Frank Wisdom, a civil servant. Both of them were quite happy. They had 2 children, John and Jean, but later on, disillusioned with the married life, Doris divorced Frank Wisdom. She left her children with him. She divorced him in 1943 and she left the children with their father. By this time, she had become very active in the communist movement and she opposed apartheid and racism. Now, she explains her reasons for leaving the children with their father. She says, "There is nothing more boring for an intelligent woman than to spend endless amounts of time with small children. I felt I wasn't the best person to bring them up. I would have ended up an alcoholic or a frustrated intellectual like my mother." She was deeply political and committed to her cause. She was one of the very few Britishers in Africa who celebrated India's independence from the British. Drawn to communism, she joined the Left Book Club, where she met her second husband, Gottfried Lessing. Gottfried Lessing was a German communist refugee, and she felt that it was her duty to marry him in the 1940s. The 1940s were a very hostile period for the Germans immediately after the Second World War, which was from 1939 to 1945. They had a son, Peter, and both partners had many affairs on the sidelines. Doris Lessing divorced her second husband, Gottfried Lessing, and left for England in 1949 with her son Peter. She never married again. Doris Lessing arrived in England with the manuscript of her first novel, The Grass is Singing, and the book was published in 1950. Lessing has said that she is one who uses the process of writing to find out what you think and even who you are. Her most important novel, The Golden Notebook, considered to be a feminist handbook and a classic, was published in 1962. The novel is semi-autobiographical, and it shattered many conventions by exploring the inner lives of women in great detail. It explores the freedom of choice in matters related to work, having children or not having them, menstruation, orgasm, and emotional breakdown. Doris Lessing explored the relations between men and women in detail, in depth. She wrote about racial bias or discrimination, about choices in life, and the glaring inequalities and disparities in society. Now, Lessing's fiction can be divided into three phases. The first phase is the communist phase, which was from 1944 to 1956. And during this period, most of the stories and the novel that she wrote are set in southern Rhodesia or Zimbabwe. She wrote with a very radical perspective on social issues. The Grass is Singing and a collection of stories, African stories, belong to this period. She returned to the same concerns and ideas with her 1985 novel, The Good Terrorist. The second phase is the psychological phase, which began in 1956 and concluded in 1969. It was during this phase that her most important novel, Golden Notebook, was published. And Golden Notebook explores emotional and mental breakdown in detail. She also wrote a series of 5 semi-autobiographical novels called Children of Violence during this period. Then the Sufi phase, and this phase was inspired by her conversations with her friend and teacher Idris Shah, a British citizen of Indian birth and Afghan origin. She learned about Sufism from him and wrote the sequence of space fiction novels Canopus in Argos. It was not very popular, but it sort of expressed her philosophy at that point of time. The 5 most important novels by Doris Lessing. She was a very prolific author, but the 5 most important novels by Doris Lessing are The Grass is Singing, which was published in 1950, The Golden Notebook, which came out in 1962, Shikasta, which is a part of Canopus in Argos, which came out in 1979, The Good Terrorist in 1985, and of course the part memoir, part novella, which is based on the life of her parents, Alfred and Emily, which came out in 2008. Doris Lessing won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 2007. She never expected to win, and when she won, when she was informed that she had won the Nobel Prize, her reaction was typical. She said, "Oh Christ." She is the oldest person to have won it at the age of 88, and the title of her Nobel lecture is On Not Winning the Nobel Prize. In her Nobel lecture, she talked about the role of fiction in addressing the problems of disparity and inequality in the world. She died at the age of 94 in year 2013 in England. There are a couple of important quotes which are quite interesting and which I wanted to share with you. So I have a slide on those quotes. She says, "It is our imaginations which shape us, keep us, create us, for good and for ill. It is our stories that will recreate us when we are torn, hurt, even destroyed. And there is another important quote where she discusses her writing in 2008, where she says, "It has stopped. I don't have any energy anymore. This is why I keep telling anyone younger than me, don't imagine you will have it forever. Use it while you've got it, because it will go. It is sliding away like water down a plug hole." I conclude with Margaret Atwood's comment. Margaret Atwood, the Canadian poet and novelist, refers to Doris Lessing as inventive, down to earth. She never hedged her bets or pulled her punches, doing everything with all her heart. Doris Lessing was an indomitable woman, an unconventional and important writer who shattered many barriers and lived life to the fullest. Thank you.